Hey guys, my name is Burton. Welcome to your 13th tutorial on ISO 8583. So in this tutorial we'll be covering subfields. So basically a subfield is a field that's contained within another field. Okay, a good example of this is field 127. Some implementations of ISO 8583 use field 127 as a compound field. So what that means is that field 127 has other fields within it, right? Instead of being just a regular field, it has other fields within it. So that's what we're going to be covering in this tutorial. So go ahead and create another test. So this is just another test class that I've created in my project. So this is going to be a simulation for an airtime recharge request, right? So basically it's sort of a funds transfer request, right? So it's gonna have an MTI of 0 to 100. This is gonna be the date and time. This is the stan. This is the amount. And now this are the two values that we're gonna be setting within subfields. Alright, so within field 127 we're going to have field 2 and field 3. So field 2 is going to be the mobile number, which is an ANS field with length 12. So this is a fixed ANS field. Field 127.3, or the third field within field 127, is going to be a transaction ID. Now the transaction ID is going to be a numeric field with a maximum length of 18. Alright, so go ahead and create this particular test, right? So if I go ahead and run this test, it's going to fail. Alright, the reason is we haven't actually defined these two fields within our config file. So as you can see, it says a class cast exception, variable ANS field cannot be cast to a compound field, right? So let's go ahead and look at our config file. So this is my configuration file. So as you can see, field 127 is defined as a variable ANS field, right? But here in our test, we're using field 127 as a compound field, right? So it can be a variable compound field or a fixed compound field. So let's go ahead and fix that. So to fix that, this field needs to be a compound field. So we're going to first use a fixed compound field, and then we're going to use a variable compound field. So fixed compound field, right? That's what we need to change on field 127. Now within field 127 we have other fields in it. So we're going to have field 0, field 1, field 2, and all the way up to field 128. Alright, so let me just copy field 0 up to field 3, you know, from up top. So copy that and then paste it within here. So field 0 is normally an MTI, but in this case field 127 does not have an MTI, so this is going to only serve as a placeholder field. So set the length to 0. Okay, that's it for field 0. So this is just a placeholder field. Now field 1 is going to be the bitmap. Okay, so this doesn't change, that's going to remain the same. Now field 2, let's see how we defined field 2 here. So field 2 is an ANS field with length 12. So that is a fixed ANS field. So field 2 has length 12 and it's a fixed ANS field, right? Now since it's an ANS field, we can use a space prepender, and then the description is mobile number. Description is mobile number. The value encoding is BCD, well, the length encoding does not really matter, but for this we can use ASCII. All right. Field 3 is a transaction ID. Now transaction ID has a max length of 18, right? So we can set that to 0. Then the max length is going to be 18. Okay. Now because this is transaction ID is a number, well, we can prepend with zeros, right? But remember, it is a variable field whose maximum length is 18. All right. Now this is not a processing code, it's a transaction ID. Transaction ID. All right. Now here we used ASCII, so let's use BCD here and see what happens. And then for the length encoding, we can use ASCII. Now let's just use BCD for both. Okay, so that's what we need to fix. Now we don't need to add the other fields from 4 all the way to 128 because we are not using those, but all the preceding fields need to be present. Okay, so now if I run my test, I expect it to be successful. So let's see what happens. Okay. Wow, seems like one of the tests failed. So it says expected this but got this. So I think I mistyped something. My test here, I think I mistyped something. Yep, there's an 8 missing. 678, 678. So let me just copy this again and paste it here. And I'm gonna run it. It should be successful now. I don't expect any other problem. Well, looks like our test worked. So this is field 127, which is the bitmap. This field 2, which is a mobile number, and this is field 3, which is a transaction ID. So this is the encode part and this is the decode part, right? Now as you can see, this is the whole value for field 127. So it's basically this plus this plus this, right? As you can see, this is a bitmap. Sorry, the bitmap is just up until here, and then we have the mobile number all the way to there, and we have the transaction ID, right? So this is the whole value for field 127. So as you can see, you know, our code actually works, right? So let's try and use a variable compound field and see what we get, right? So field 127 is a variable compound field, in this case a variable compound field. So we don't actually need to change anything else, but before we run the test, note that here we don't have a length before, right? This is just a bitmap, but we don't have any length. So if we test this again, we expect to see a length there. Okay, it's gonna work, it's gonna work. Let's just see. Right, there we go. So okay, this stuff is not very visible, but as you can see, here we have something, right? Okay, let me do this. Let me change this encoding to ASCII so we can see. What is a bitmap? Actually, on the bitmap, just the length encoding of the compound field to ASCII. That should be visible. Now let me run the test again. Okay, there you have it. So as you can see, field 127 is 86 in length, right? That makes sense because the bitmap is 64 plus 12 plus what? 64 plus 12 plus how long was this? I don't remember, man. Oh, That's just I don't want to count, man. I'm just tired. So let's use this an ASCII as well. So this is gonna be ASCII. Let's change this length encoding to ASCII and test it again. It's actually good, so we get to test this. So there we go. There we go. Come on. So our message is 86 long. So the length of this is 64. This is 12, right? Plus 10, we get 86, right? 64 plus 12 plus 10, you get 86. So this is our length, right? Now we can also change the bitmap encoding to something different. So let's say we want the bitmap to be encoded in what's the bitmap? The bitmap to be encoded in ASCII. We can do that, and then when we test it, we should be able to see the the hex for the bitmap. Okay, so now we can see the bitmap here, right? So this is a bitmap in hex. Alright, this is hex. Now I know the configuration says ASCII, but it just seemed a bit ridiculous to set this as the the readable value. I don't know, it's just easier to look at the hex instead of the whole binary string. Anyway guys, that's it for this tutorial. I hope you guys liked it. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe, and thanks you very much for watching.